And you too. All right. And it's 9:30. Look at me. On time. All right. Cutting off the head. All good. All good. So I'll just I'll wait a quick second. I know sometimes it takes a minute. Hello, YouTube. Don't worry. Can't tell. It's popped on Facebook yet, but I'll start talking anyway. So I apologize, those of you who participated in the 5-day challenge. I honestly didn't get to choosing a winner for the workshop. I swear I will do that today. I swear I will do that. So it's been a physically challenging week for me this week. So today is just going to be just a nice all over stretch, nothing complicated, nothing fussy. Of course, you can make it fussier if you want to, right? All the fancy extras that you can add on to poses, always welcome to do that. If you need something very vigorous today, then you might want to pop back and just find one of the archived videos that's a little more intense, because today will just be nice and easy and gentle. We'll get a little bit of everything, so no worries on that, but not all crazy like sometimes we can get. And remember, if you're having that kind of week and you know you're going to need X, Y, or Z on that next Saturday, then feel free to give me a shout. Otherwise, it's kind of however I'm feeling, whatever's going on in the universe kind of thing. So yeah, that's where we're at today. Remember to listen to your body regardless of what it is. Sometimes we just have a knee thing or a shoulder thing or whatever it might be. And even if it's a gentler pose, it may not be appropriate that day for you, right? Or ever. Sometimes there's positions that my body just won't do anymore. And that's okay, right? Because there are other things. And remember, the big twisted pretzel is not the point anyway. So let's go ahead and see if we can find it. Go ahead and hit to your mat. We are going to start seated. Again, this is a pretty gentle class. We aren't jumping around. So your comfortable seats, of course. Prop up if you need to prop up for sure. Aligning the heels and finding the sit bones. Making sure that the pelvis is upright. Lifting the pelvic floor, lower belly in and up. So we're engaged through that lower belly and we can sit up tall, right? Using the muscles. If you must use your hands on your knees to sit up tall, use your hands on your knees. Relax your shoulders, relax your hips as much as you can. Grow the crown of your head to the ceiling. Closing your eyes and just allowing yourself to be here. And check in with your body. Maybe if you haven't had a crazy week, you're not really sure what's going on. Nothing hurts, everything's fine. Right? But that doesn't mean your body doesn't give you signals anyway. So just gonna take a second, see what you need, find where we're at. And let that same awareness come to the breath. And if the body isn't giving you signals, maybe the breath is this morning. Allowing that breath to gently expand. Finding that nice full yoga breath, whatever that looks like this morning. Just remember that this awareness to the body and breath should continue throughout class. So keeping that the thing, adding on to movement here, we'll extend the arms out to the sides. And with an inhale, stretch up. Exhaling, come back down. We're going to do that again. And one more like that. Coming back to the top, inhale. Exhale the right hand to the mat. Taking that little tip to the right, taking a nice big breath here. And then making your way back to center. Exhaling over to the left. Big full breath here. Back to the middle. One more time on each side. So connect with your breath. Maybe find a little deeper stretch or a little more comfort in the stretch you were in. Back to center. Exhaling, release the arms. Taking the right hand to the left knee, left hand behind the back, easy little twist. Checking in with the body, making sure that you're still upright on the pelvis and tall through your spine. We're going to release that, coming back to the middle, taking the second side. Just always starting off gentle, see where you start to meet the resistance. And then release that back to the middle again. Let's go back to the first side. This time maybe make it a little deeper. And then release that back to the center again. Take your second side. A little deeper twist if your body is ready for that. And then releasing it back to the center again. So from here, over onto all fours. Take your time. Find the knees under the hips, wrists under the shoulders. If it's too much for the wrists, remember you can have your hands a little bit more forward, right, to release or to lessen the angle there. Four corners of the hands though, regardless of where they are, nice and even on the four corners. And then just starting off with some cat-cows, let's inhale the belly to the floor. And exhale the spine toward the ceiling. With the breath, in and out like that. One more float. And then back to a center. Excuse me. So from here, we're going to pick the toes up and bring the big toes together. With the breath here, on the exhale, take your toes over to the left and see if you can look at your feet over there. And then inhale, come on back to the middle. And exhale as you take your toes over to the right, looking back for your feet. Right? So with your breath, moving side to side like that. Finding where the work is. Sometimes it's the little kind of crunch idea in the oblique, and sometimes it's the stretch on the other side. Sometimes it's just keeping the toes up off the floor. Can you feel that that's work as well? Let's go once more to each side. And then back to center and release your toes. Go ahead and sit back into a child's pose. Sitting the hips back, maybe opening the knees a little wider, stretching the arms forward, or tucking them back by your feet. Give yourself this nice little minute in the beginning here. And sometimes, although we love child's pose, it's not great at the beginning, right? So just do the best you can with it. Pop if you need to pop it anyway. Take a couple more nice big breaths here. And then let's make our way back up onto hands and knees again. From here, go ahead and take the right hand palm up, and we're going to weave it under. Maybe bringing the elbow to the floor in the center here, or continue to reach over and bring the shoulder to the floor in the center of your mat. So not leaning forward or back, weight on the shoulder and the arm, not on your head. Your head is resting, obviously. So listen to your body. Keep the knees even, so we don't want the hips to move around a whole bunch here. Pressing the left hand down, pressing the right arm down to open up your twist. So remember, there's all kinds of fancy stuff you can do here. You can balance by taking the left foot back and lifting the knee. You can extend the arm toward the ceiling. You can wrap it behind your back. There's a lot going on in the pose. So just let it be the variation that's right for you today. One more breath wherever you are. And then gently release what you got. Make your way back up to all fours. And then let's go second side. So the left hand, palm up, either the elbow to the floor, and maybe you start with the elbow to the floor and work your way down. Yeah. You can take the shoulder down. Maybe press into the floor, adding that element, adding the balance, or changing where the right arm is. Take just a couple more breaths over here. And then gently release what you got. Coming back into that all fours again. And one more time back into your child's pose. So back to all fours or forward into your kneeling plank, however you want to get there this morning. So still same idea, four corners of the hands on the floor. The spine is neutral, the belly is supporting. From here, we're going to take the right foot over to the right side of the mat. Leave that right knee on the floor. Open the body to the left here. So essentially you have your right hand, right knee, and left foot in a nice long line down around. And you can keep it this simple. You can maybe extend the left arm. You can lift the left leg. You can move into a full side plank. All the things. With the breath here though, maybe take that left hand, exhale, twist it underneath the body and reach for the wall or whatever's behind you. And then inhale, come back up. Reach for the ceiling. Exhale, thread it through. Take a few more breaths like that. When you're through, just reaching back up and then making your way back into your kneeling plank. So moving to the second side, same idea. The left foot out to the left, opening out to the right here. Making sure that you feel comfortable enough here, maybe adding on or not, four corners of that left hand into the floor. And then adding the little, threading the arm here with the breath. Exhale as you breathe through. Inhale and come back up. Again. Let's go once more. When you're through, back to kneeling plank and into child's pose. And remember, child's pose is certainly a resting pose, but you can also get a really nice stretch here. So maybe you reach your arms further away from the body and lift your armpits, lift the palms of your hands, feeling that stretch in the armpits, basically, right? And your shoulders a little bit. Maybe you're feeling it more in your lower back. We're going to come back into kneeling plank and then into a down dog. Getting the lower body in on it finally, right? Wiggling around, bicycling your heels, shifting your shoulders and hips, whatever feels good. Sinking into it then, pressing the heels down, pushing away from the floor with your hands. Keep the arms nice and active. Let your head just hang. And then instead of sinking the heels toward the floor, we're going to come up on the toes and drop the heels to the left. Keep that right hand on the floor really firmly pressed down. And then back to the middle and over to the right. We're coming back to center again. And from down dog, go ahead and walk your feet to your hands and come to a standing fold. So working into the hamstrings then, finding whatever your fold looks like for right now. Feet underneath the hip bones, toes pointing forward. You can walk in place a little bit, wiggle around. Remember, if you need to support with your hands on your thighs or your shins or blocks, listen to your body. We don't all touch our toes, and it's not the end of the world if you don't. So wherever you are, bend your knees enough that your belly touches the thighs. Try not to squeeze your knees together here, keeping them in that neutral position. We're going to take the arms behind the legs and squeeze the belly to the thighs, not the knees together. Okay. Keep that idea and see if you can take your legs straighter. Maybe they go straight, maybe they don't. Keep your belly on your thighs and don't worry about it. Right? Find your stretch. We're going to release the arms, and you are absolutely welcome to keep your knees bent if you'd like. Otherwise, straight legs. We're going to take the fingers to interlace behind the back. Shoulder blades pull toward each other, and then the knuckles stretch away. And that might be straight down your back. The hands may lift away from your back. Try not to hyperextend and then just flip your wrists or anything like that. Even maybe pulling the wrist palms toward each other. Nice big breaths. And then gently release the arms. Straight legs if they're not already, and the hands up to the thighs. We're going to lift ourselves parallel to the floor, our upper body that is anyway. Shoulders back, belly's working. You can lean on the legs as much as you need to here. And then we're going to sit back into chair. So again, supporting if you need the support. Tuck in the tailbone. If you feel like your bum is sticking out back there, sometimes when we bend over like that, our butt sticks out, tuck it under just a little, lengthening the lower back. And then hang on, arm center, extend wherever they need to be here. Finding four corners of the feet. Steady, even breaths. Keeping the shoulders away from the ears. We're going to take one more breath. And then with an inhale, stretch to the ceiling. And exhale, release the arms. So hands to the lower back. You can interlace your fingers back there. You can take out cactus arms if you don't need the support. Feel free to change that up, of course. Four corners of the feet, little tuck of the tailbone. Hug the elbows, hug the shoulder blades toward each other, and lift the sternum toward the ceiling. So again, just a nice, easy little back bend, supported as much as you need or as little. Keeping the pelvis over the ankles, the chin tucked toward the throat. And again, just gently working yourself in, take a few breaths. With an inhale, gently making your way back up. Releasing the arms. Let's come back to supporting the hands on the thighs and over into that half fold again. And just take a little second here. And then all the way over. Go ahead and take a nice big step back with your left foot. And we're going to walk the hands around into the center of a straddle fold. So opening the feet a little wider, you determine how wide, of course. Toes pointing forward, feeling even and steady on your feet. And then here, if you need to, certainly you can bend your knees. We're going to take the index and middle fingers and wrap them around the big toes. So the legs straight, not locked if you can. But the elbows bent out to the sides either way. So try and create that neutral spine here. Four corners of the feet. You can pull on your toes a little bit to deepen your stretch. Try and let your head hang without rounding the upper back. And then we'll release the toes. So supporting with the hands on the floor, so again, bent knees if you need them. We're going to turn the toes out toward the corners a little bit. And you may need to adjust as you move, so just kind of watch what's happening and adjust accordingly. With the exhale, we're going to bend the right knee, and shift the hips over there. Inhale, come on back to the middle, and then exhale, bend the left knee and shift the hips to the left. So following your breath like that, when you bend, you want to keep the knee over the ankle and pointing in the same direction as your toes. So you may need to move your feet wider or turn your toes in or out. Just gonna check out and see. It could change after a couple of breaths here. Lean on the floor as much as you need with your hands. You can even pop here if that's what you need. Let's go one more time on each side. And then when we're back to center, go ahead and walk the hands back to the right foot. Step back to the top of the mat. And then straight legs, hands on the thighs, bending back into our chair again. Four corners of the feet, tucking the tailbone, lifting the chest. Hands where you want the hands. And this time, instead of being on the four corners of the feet, we're going to come up on the toes. So balancing here. Use your belly, keeping the knees, not really over the ankles, but hip bone distance apart. Let's go with that. Take another big breath. Stay on your toes if you can. Inhale, stretch to the ceiling. And then exhale, release your arms and your glutes. Just fun. So short step back with the left foot. All 10 toes point forward. And you can take your feet a little wider if you feel off balance at all. We're going to bend into the right knee and find warrior one here. So the hips stay square. Adjusting the feet so that you can keep four corners on the mat. And then extending the arms, or you can interlace your fingers behind your back or any other fancy thing you like. And then from warrior one, we're moving into warrior two. So arms parallel to the floor. Go ahead and drop the back heel. The toes open. You probably have to open your feet. Probably. Watch for the big toe beyond your right knee. Still nice and even into the four corners of both feet. And then we're going to take that left hand to the back of the left thigh, turn the right palm toward the ceiling and reach up. And this right shoulder is higher than left probably. See if you can drop it down and level them out. Get a little turning and rotating toward the ceiling. Maybe the right arm alongside the right ear. Not smashed up against it, just alongside it. And then back to warrior two. Step it to the top of the mat. The hardest part sometimes. So, second side, same idea. Starting off with that short step back with the right foot. All 10 toes point forward. The hips are square to the top. And then when you're ready, extending the arms for your warrior one on this side. And you can absolutely change the arms up. From warrior one into warrior two. So arms parallel to the floor. Turning the left toe down. That's your right toes. Turning your right toes out a little bit. Check for your left big toe. Right hand to the back of the thigh. Left palm to the ceiling. Reach up. Drop the left shoulder if you can. back to the middle. And then step back to the top of the mat again. All right. So we're going to take our standing balance then. Keep it super simple. On your mat, off your mat, near a wall, whatever makes you happy. So standing nice and tall, four corners of the right foot, lifting the left, open at the knee, and then bring that foot into the inside of the right leg. Anywhere but on your knee joint works. So even if you have your toes on the floor. Stand really tall, tucking the tailbone, extending through the crown of the head, and then the hands wherever you want the hands to go. You can even do an interlace behind the back here and add in a little baby back bend if you're feeling it. Keeping the gaze steady. Noticing the wobble without freaking out about it. And then we're going to release that back to center. Move to the second side. So same idea. Again, simple or making it more challenging if that's where you're at. All the way to the left, with the right, open the knee, and then find where that foot needs to be. Hugging the legs toward each other, tucking the tailbone, stand extra tall, and end your arms. And just gently move through the pieces of the pose. Sometimes you find that you want to work maybe in the middle. Once you get there, maybe you want to add something different. Yoga is about self-study. Let's bring it back in and release it. All right, so back to the top of the mat if you did step away. We're going to stretch the arms up. Gently take yourself over into a fold. And step back to down dog. In down dog, we're going to lift the right leg. Stretch it straight back. Open up your hip, take your toes as high as you can, and then bend the knee, bring the knee toward the ceiling, keeping the shoulders level. So you're actually facing the floor, not the wall to your right. Gently release that. Switching to the left, lifting, and opening the hip, bending the knee if that's you. Keeping the arms straight and even, just like both feet were on the floor. Then release that side. Drop it down into child's pose. And maybe you want to from child's pose here, just go ahead and slide forward, come out on your belly. It's always dangerous for me to be here. I like to get too comfortable. So, working with locust here, we're going to work with just the upper body for right this moment. Glue your feet to the floor. Press down into the toes, toenails. Take your hands back by your sides. You can interlace the hands behind the back here also if you like. Okay. So you're going to press down with your toes, Turn the tailbone towards your toes so the pelvis presses down. And then roll your shoulders up by your ears together on your back, down toward your hip bones, and lift the chest. Keeping the head in a neutral position. Try not to jut your chin forward. Reach the fingers back for the heels. And then release it. Make a little pillow for your head with your hands here. And we're going to work with just the legs. So resting your chin or your forehead on the pillow just to keep your head in a neutral position here. We're going to spread the toes really wide. And imagine extending your big toe toward the wall behind you. Lifting the legs in with your hamstrings at least as much as your glutes. So if you feel a squeezing in your bum and your lower back feels tight, stop and start over. Or skip this. You want to keep the lower back really long. So sometimes squeezing the bum will shorten the lower back and cause discomfort. We don't want that. Release the legs. And then let's put it together. Right? So arms back down by your sides. Tucking the tailbone still so the pelvis is grounding into the floor. The toes aren't going to this time though, right? We're going to roll our shoulders, lifting the chest, extend through the toes, lifting the legs. And don't worry about how high. Feel the sensation nice and even through your spine, your glutes, your hamstrings. Feel your toes working. And then release it. Make a little pillow for your head with your hands. Turn your toes toward each other. And then just a gentle little rock with your hips. Shake it out. If you got a little tight in one area over another. Hopefully not, but sometimes that happens. Coming back to center. Hugging the elbows in. Press up and take it down dog. Stretching the spine in the opposite direction. From down dog, we'll drop down to the knees and bring the legs around first. Extending the legs long here. Upright on your pelvis. Tall through your spine. Let's reach the arms. And we're going to fold over the legs. So just let your hands fall where they fall. Again, that may or may not be your toes. The elbows are out to try and keep the shoulders together on the back. Shoulder blades together on the back. Big full breaths. With the next inhale, we're coming back up again. Releasing the arms. So here we're going to take the right foot flat to the floor. And you can leave it on the inside or you can take it to the outside of your left leg. Right? We want to make sure the pelvis stays upright and you can sit up tall. Right? If you can, bend the left knee and bring that heel in front of your right sit bone. So the pelvis is level, the spine is tall still. Take the left arm, maybe wrap it around the right leg. And then the right hand behind the back, just deepening that very first twist that we took. Adding in a sensation or two. We've got one more nice big breath. And then gently release it back to center. Unhook the legs. And we'll switch. So the left foot flat, inside or outside. Right leg straight or bent. And again here, play with the pieces. Where does your body need to be? Sitting nice and tall, adding in the twist if and when you're ready. And then we're gently going to release that back to the middle and on the legs. So taking the feet flat to the floor. We're going to work with both for a little while. So take whatever variations you need. You can come in and out. You can bump it up for a second and then bump it back down. Just listen to where you are right now. So feet flat, hang on. Even here, you could let go and have sensation, and maybe it's enough. Otherwise, just lift your toes. Shins parallel to the floor. Extend it to the ceiling, maybe. So find where it is. We are going to play here a little bit. So we're not going to be done anytime soon. Instead of having your legs straight, bring the soles of the feet together, stay balancing, and hang on. So you can give yourself a little bit of a break if you really just rely on your arms to hold you here, if you need it. Right? Keeping the chest lifted, using that lower belly. If you can, stay balanced and take your index and middle fingers and wrap around your big toes. From here, see if you can extend your right leg. And don't worry about straight. We haven't gone crazy with the hamstrings today, but straight if you can. Right? Notice if you're leaning with your pelvis, maybe you're collapsing your chest, staying strong through the middle. Bring it back, and then switch the left leg. Bring it back. How about both? And again, straight or not completely straight, don't panic about it. Just keep the belly working, the chest lifted. And then whether your legs are straight or bent, bring them back together. So you can definitely hang on. You can change where your feet are. Maybe let go. Bend the knees, hang on to the hamstrings. Go ahead and roll your spine down to the floor. And then just hug your knees in. Let yourself rock a little bit. And then take the soles of the feet flat to the floor. Let the soles of the feet come together and the knees relax to the sides. So release your belly. Try and relax through your hips. If you like, you can always use blocks or something to prop your legs up so you can really rest into it. Again, just do what's right for you. Sometimes you need a little more love and a little less work, right? We'll draw the knees back together. Cross the left ankle over the right knee. Keep your left foot flat. We're going to take the hands and interlace the fingers behind the right thigh. And then gently pull in. We press the left leg away, the more the sensation is. Try and keep the pelvis level on the floor, shoulders down. And keep the arms drawing toward the body. Push the leg back into the hands. Another nice big breath. And then release it. We'll switch. Right or left. Reach back behind the left thigh. And then find where the sensation is here. Keep your arms pointing toward the body. Kick the leg back away. Add in that little extra. And then release it. So both feet flat to the floor. Let's go ahead and open the arms out into a T position here. And you can add any little pieces you like. We're just going to take this final twist. So today I'm just going to drop my knees over to the right. If you want to shift your hips first, if you want to cross the legs, take the legs straight, whatever little variations you like. Maybe looking over at the left hand, just playing with it and seeing where it needs to be. Take just a few more breaths, so if you wanted to add another variation, feel free. And then we're going to make our way back up to center. And take the same variation, at least where you started, over to your second side. So the knees are falling left this time. And once you're there, you can totally change it up if the body needs it. Just a few more breaths over on this side. And then we'll make our way back up to center. Hugging the knees back to the chest. Give yourself that little rock. And then keep the knees in nice and tight. Pull the forehead toward the knees and give yourself a squeeze. Release it into a full body stretch. And then release. Finding where Shavasana is going to be today. And then releasing the muscles. Releasing control of your breath. most difficult and most worth it. Release any thoughts that wander into your brain. Keeping your mind present, quiet, just as relaxed as your body here for just a few minutes. To draw each breath a little deeper than the last. Beginning to wiggle your fingers and your toes, circling with the wrists and the ankles. Moving and stretching through your arms and your legs. Maybe take another full body stretch. As you're ready, taking your feet flat to the floor. Slowly, quietly, Make your way back to seated. Sitting well, bringing the palms to touch. Namaste. So I hope that's just what you needed. And if everything I did wasn't what you needed, you did what you needed. So thanks for practicing with me today. Have a great weekend. If you have any questions or comments or suggestions or whatever, give me a holler. And if not before, I will see you next week. Bye.